Fearless Pioneer. Yo, what is going on, guys? EJ here, bringing another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. Today, guys, we're just going to go over the factions because, of course, we have to replay. I did a video about how we have to replay some of the campaigns, as you can see. We had the selections of Rings of Power, Kings of Men, the War of the Ring, which I highly suggested to stay away from. It is good, good versus evil based, very storytelling kind of mode, but it was very unbalanced, but maybe it could be a lot better now. And then Rebuilding Glory and Tactics Evolve. I'm currently stuck in Bag End still. The group, or I should say the season I tried to get in was filled, but we've sorted things out. But looks like there's another Tactics Evolved RP coming up soon, so hopefully I can get into that. But yeah, we're going to just today go over, just because it's hard to come up with some content, we're going to come over and look at all 12 factions. And I'm just going to rank all the factions on what faction you should choose when replaying one of these seasons while waiting for a new season to come out, which is going to possibly be another few months. We're not going to get quite some new content for quite a while. So we're going to work our way. We're going to do all the good, all the evil. I believe there's 12 here from memory. And I'm either going to rate them average, good, or great. So let's get into it. So our first one is LINDON. They're way over here. Now, I can't really click on there to show the details at the moment, because they're full on this map. But yeah, it's a good starting area. You have a nice quiet start. You just need to hope that especially if you're in a server that can do United Factions, you want to get along with ARNOR early. Otherwise, you could be in a bit of trouble. Because you're going to be getting early into fights and it's going to slow your progress down. Now, their tier 4 is quite good, but not the best in the game. But yeah, so if we take into consideration your starting location, if you can not make early enemies with ARNOR, you're going to have an excellent, great start. You have a ton of land to farm, so you're going to be able to build up your power very strongly. So I definitely would put it in the good range. So LINDON gets a good ranking. So it's a pretty decent starting location. Moving on next to ARNOR, which we can click on. They also changed things up. So now they have like the rings. So you can see for ARNOR, you have Mysterious Ring Power enables the Men of ARNOR to obtain more XP in battles. They have the Ranger of the North as their tier 4, which is fantastic. They also start off with the Numorians early, so basically you get access to all the Gondor troops pretty much, or Numenorians. I know I probably said that wrong before. I haven't had much sleep, I'm pretty tired, I apologize. But yeah, ARNOR I think is an excellent starting location, which I have not got to play yet. I'm really hoping that I'm going to get to play it next season, because I want to do a lot of awesome content for you guys very soon, like with Isildur and stuff, and tried all their tier 4. I got some really good PvP ideas and things in my head, and I got a lot of video ideas, so definitely looking forward to that. They've got amazing land coverage, so you got plenty of areas of all mixed variety of the different resources. I would definitely put ARNOR in the great section of rating, just because they have fantastically strong tier 4. You get really good starting troops, and you have an excellent starting area. Now, vice versa as well, you want to be trying to get along with LINDON early, because you don't want to be getting on to those early head-to-head battles. That's going to slow your progress down, and others factions are going to progress a lot faster than you. Moving on, we have ANGMAR up the top here. Now, I haven't really played Evil side myself. I played in a mixed server last season, so I know a bit more about the Evil a lot more, but I do have a lot of friends in that, and I've battled ANGMAR a lot. First off, I can say that their tier 4, if not the best in the game, is one of the best. The Fallen, very strong. So ANGMAR is very good. They got really good starting troops in that. If you've got a lot of the Witch Kings and all of the Nazgul commanders in that on the evil side, you're going to find a very strong start there. You have access to a lot of resources as well. Your only problem is you're probably going to bump into ARNOR early. Now, in some seasons in that, I don't believe you can unite a faction with good and evil in some, but you can in other seasons. But you can just get along, but not actually become a united faction if that's not a part of your season. As long as you can typically get along with ARNOR, it's going to be pretty good. Otherwise, you could be in early battles yeah. You know what I mean? So basically, I would put them in the good section between average and great, of course. I think it's a good starting location. Lots of access to resources and everything like that. I do like their starting troops, and their tier 4 is amazing. I just can't click on show it because that one's full, unfortunately. As long as you can get along with ARNOR early, you should be good. And maybe you can make allies with ISENGARD and GUNDABAD that we'll talk about in just a moment. Because they could really help you out. ISENGARD. Now, I think ISENGARD, in my opinion, is one of, if not the best, probably besides VARGS, evil side. Now, I haven't really seen a lot of strong ISENGARDs when I've been playing, but it's a really overlooked faction. Their tier 4, the Snaggerthrax, are really, really, really good. As you can see right here, their Snaggerthrax special units are absolutely amazing. Now, you're going to have access to a lot of resources here. The only problem is you can get really early into battles with ROHAN, and then you've got to worry about ARNOR and LINDON coming down in about a week or a week and a half into the season. So you can be really sandwiched in between there. So that's where the problem comes there. And I'll put it at a good rating instead of great, just because you kind of sandwich it in the middle. And if you can't get that diplomacy to work, especially when good like to basically work together, so you're going to be stuck there, and your closest allies are pretty far up the top with ANGMAR up there. So we're going to put those as a good rating. Next we have ROHAN, which is right in the middle of the map. ROHAN has an excellent start for resources, especially wood. You get access to the entire Banghorn Forest. We don't need to talk too much about the tier 4 marshals. We all know they're absolutely amazing. As well, if you're going to be replaying Season 5, Tactics Evolved, you're going to have access to the elite units, and elite marshals are just beyond this world. They're absolutely amazing. If you've got a strong Theoden, or even Eowyn, they're going to absolutely destroy. They're like, trust me, I used them a few seasons ago, back when it was Season 5 when it first came out, and they're super strong. So yeah, you will probably be surprised. You can get into early fights against ISENGARD, but I'm probably going to put them up in the Great Region just because you have a really good early ally next to you with GONDOR. You have amazing resources starts. You have access to all the mounted troops that are a little bit slower, but you're going to have faster movement speeds. You can start moving further across the map. You just want to try get along with GONDOR, otherwise you can have problems. If you work together, you can have access to the Oathbreakers and that as well, which I forgot to talk about a couple of other places. Of course, ARNOR and all that. The reason I put them great as well, you can get access to Bree Riders and that early as well. But yeah, I'm going to put ROHAN as a great option. Straight underneath it, GONDOR, we're going to give them a great straight away as well. It's a nice, quiet area, and you get a lot of land, so you can get a lot more ring power. If you get a nice chilled start, especially like not many people play MORDOR anymore, so you get a pretty chilled start and you get to build up your power very strongly. Obviously, their Swan Knights are pretty decent tier 4, really good with the defense, but you have access to the Oathbreakers up at the Paths of the Dead, and then there's a lot of other special units like Seafarers and everything down there. But yeah, I think it's a really strong area because of the amount of resources. There's a lot of land that's spread around, so you're not going to get stuck and just all the areas come overcrowded like so. So we're going to definitely put that at a great rating. Moving across to Mordor, this is going to be our first average. They're tier 4, not many people use them because they're super slow. They take super long to conscript. I was going to say constrict for some reason. I don't know, they might have a giant snake there or something now, new moves. But yeah, it seems to be very underplayed now. If you're playing Season 4, a lot of people did play Mordor, though, because that's where the big battles happen at the end, at Mount Doom and stuff like that. But their Tier 4 is not the best. You will start running into trouble, with resources. And I know from experience, if you start pushing out through Minas Morgul into Gondor lands, you're going to be getting into early fights very quickly. So, yeah, and you kind of like just stuck in your area. If you don't have a super strong faction behind you, you may not even leave Mordor for the entire season. So, we're going to give them an average rating. Moving on to Gundabad, up the top there. They are definitely going to be rated a good faction. They have a good start. They have good access to a lot of the evil kind of troops up there. When I say that, I mean like the camps and stuff like that. I think you got like the wraiths and things and stuff up there, and they've added all werewolves and everything now. There's all around the place. But you do have trouble with getting into Lothlorien and Erebor fights very early. Especially with Gundabad, they usually don't push over to Angmar's land. They usually get along unless Angmar's like dead or vice versa. So they usually have to push down into Erebor areas and into Lothlorien first, which creates early battles and fights which can slow down their progress. And as we know, Erebor and Lothlorien are really good starting factions as well, so that could be some big trouble. So we're going to just give them a good rating. But their tier 4 is not too bad as well. The Warlord tier 4s are pretty strong as well, so keep that in mind as well. Alright, Lothlorien. Obviously, you got the best location to protect the ring and to get the ring. You have early access to a lot of resources. You also have access to a lot of good special units, like, for example, the bears, for example. You will definitely need to get along with Erebor, which they usually do. The only trouble you will have is you probably will be fighting VARGS a lot, which I will be putting up as the top tier on Evil in a moment. Their tier 4 are really good. The March Wardens, they have stun resistance and stuff like that. If you've got a lot of good commanders, for example, like Gil-galad, or I'm trying to think who else, Elrond, Haldir, you definitely want to be going Lothlorien as a good start. But it can be a slower start if you have commanders like Theodens and stuff like that. It's going to be a bit slower start for you because you have to unlock those troops. But I'm going to put Lothlorien as a great just because you have that location, and if you can hold it down, you have a very strong chance of getting the ring. Erebor, we're going to put as a good faction. You have a nice, quiet, early start, usually. As long as you don't get into too much battles with Gundabad and Lothlorien, you get together. Maybe you just can make a united faction. Their tier 4 is absolutely amazing. You have access to a lot of stone, which is used for a lot of buildings. So it's going to be very useful. And yeah, it can be a little bit lower on like getting food and stuff like that. So you will just have to level up your market and stuff like that to help you out. But definitely a good, solid, good faction there. The next one, RHUN. They have really good tier 4, but I've only seen RHUN, like, usually 99% of the time, no one plays it. I don't know why. It's kind of strange. I think they got alright tier 4. I just don't know why people don't really play it. I have seen a couple of servers play RHUN and absolutely dominate the entire map. I'm going to give it an average though, just because I don't really see anyone ever play it, and people usually want to choose VARGS over RHUN all the time. But I'm just rating that off pure experience through the 6 full seasons that I've played, and RHUN has basically nearly been dormant every single time. Moving on to that, the last one, guys, for the evil side is VARGS. We obviously got to place them as great. Ever since it was released, everyone loves to play them. Now, their tier 4s, the champions, are amazingly strong and really good against the good-sided commanders and units. You have a really strong section because Mordor is kind of in the same kind of category as RHUN. It can usually be dead, which means VARGS can have all of that access to the area of Mordor's lands and ruins, and then they can start pushing up, and they've got a really strong force to fight a lot of other good units. The only problem is if ROHAN, GONDOR, Lothr, and EREBOR all team together and then go against you, you could have some slight problems. But you got a lot of areas there for resources, and if you got a lot of strong fellowships and a good faction, you can do quite well there, guys. Yeah, that's my breakdown of all the 12. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I can start bringing you some in-game content soon. Still waiting to try get into one. We're trying to get into a role-playing Season 5 Tactics Evolve. And yeah, hopefully I can do some videos showing you some early gameplay. Work out what kind of commander it's going to be working on. I definitely know I want to try get his seal door up and stuff like that, and do a lot of testing with him in that next season. But hopefully I might get into ARNOR Lothlorian. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and until next time, peace out, EJ's out, and I'll catch you guys later. See yous.
Thousands of the EJU army, yeah, you guys are legends to me, so let's keep up this grind. I'll never give up, just like this rhyme.